Well, Hope Hicks was on the witness stand Friday afternoon as the second week of former President Donald Trump's criminal trial wraps up in New York City. Hicks worked on Trump's 2016 campaign and also held several roles in the administration. In court, she was in tears as she detailed how she handled rumors in 2016 about the former president allegedly having an affair with both Karen McDougal and Stormy Daniels. Hicks testified that Trump wanted to make sure that those claims were being publicly denied. The prosecution is setting the stage for Trump's former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen, whose testimony could prove to be pivotal to the case. CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman has been following the trial closely and is here for more analysis right outside of the courthouse there. So, Katrina, walk us through the moment when Hicks broke into tears, and what did we hear from her in court today that was so important?
That was a powerful moment when she broke down in court today, and it happened right after the prosecution had finished questioning her. And we don't know exactly why she cried, but just before this, she had been talking about a moment from February of 2018 where Trump had spoken with her about Michael Cohen and said that Michael Cohen had paid Stormy Daniels out of his own generosity to protect Trump. Trump was very pleased with his loyalty. He wanted to know Hope's opinions on the story, and he was glad that it had come out now at that point and not before the election. And when the prosecution asked if that seemed characteristic of Michael Cohen, she said that it wasn't. She didn't know him to be a charitable or a selfless person. So in a way, it seemed like she had to admit on the stand that Trump had lied to her. And during her testimony, it was very evident that she has a lot of affection for her time working with Trump and working with the campaign. We also learned about the frenzy in the campaign when the Access Hollywood tape came out and how involved Trump was with the campaign and its media strategy in combating that. And then a moment that I found interesting was they brought up a tape that we saw previously with a C-SPAN witness. It was a rally in Greensboro, North Carolina, where Trump was defending himself against allegations of sexual harassment. And she admitted that he was concerned about the impact of those stories on voters, which all ties into potential motive for wanting to pay off Stormy Daniels before the election and have that story not come out.
And Katrina, as we're looking at the entirety of the week's testimony in court, what did you make of the various cross-examinations that we heard?
The cross-examination of Keith Davidson was perhaps the sharpest one that I've seen. They really tried to poke holes in his story. But I thought that the cross-examination of Hope Hicks was interesting. It almost reminded me of when Ivanka Trump testified during the New York civil fraud trial against Trump. And in her testimony, she just kept saying that she didn't recall, which is often what happened when Hope Hicks was on the stand. In this case, we did get more information out of her, but the defense really tried to bolster that and say, you know, this did happen a long time ago. Maybe your memory of things isn't perfect. They also try to play up this story of a narrative they want to portray where the fact that Trump paid off Stormy Daniels, they say, wasn't about interfering with the election. It's because he was a family man and he wanted to protect his family. And she spoke multiple times about how much he thought of Melania and valued her opinion, how he didn't want newspapers coming to the house when the Stormy Daniels story came out.
All right. Katrina Kaufman there for us outside of the courthouse. Thank you.